All right, it's the 6th of May. It's a Tuesday, and we got just under 30 minutes to the NY Open. We'll go to the charts in a second. Okay, okay, yeah. Let's start with the calendar. No news today. It's Tuesday, 6th of May, no news today. Should be a regular trading day. Although we've noticed volume has died down since last week in NY session. First 2-3 hours of the NY Open has shown no volume, almost no volume. And it's continuing to die. And volume has shifted to other sessions, which is fine. It happens every now and then. All right, let's take a quick look at the weekly candle, what happened, right? So we had the previous week, not the previous week, but the week before that, we had a massive rejection of 3,500, right? But that candle closed almost a doji, okay? It rejected 3.5, but closed a doji. Then we continued to drop down. We dropped down to 3,200. And now we're pushing back up, and this daily candle or the weekly candle here, yesterday's, the daily candle opened with no bottom wick, so the weekly candle has no bottom wick yet. Now we're still pushing up. We came to this price came to this decision area and decided to trade above it, right? So we broke the high. Instead of reacting to this area, we broke the high and we continued high, because this area, uh, we've this is a range. We've heavily traded in this area before. So we just broke the high and we're continuing that bullish volume even higher. Now we've come to these wicks up here. There is daily support. There is daily resistance around 3350. Also at 3367 is weekly resistance. We've come past that area and we're coming to these wicks here. So we could get a reaction, or price could continue to push up to 3,400. That's what's possible today, right? We could get a reaction here at these wicks, at this wick here, and price could push back down to around 3350, or we could continue up to 3,400 and even higher. Let's go to our trading chart. Yesterday, we did take a trade on the stream. We'll do a quick recap on that before we start our zones. We took a trade here. I said it's going to be short-lived. I said the TP would be, I think it was here at the, 3313, and that's exactly where price came to. It came to 3313 and then came to the London high, right? That's where we had marked the London high. This was the London high right here. That's where it came to, and price came there and then continued to push up. Now you can see in the NY session, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours of the NY session, no volume at all, just sideway movement, right? But we did get a trade up here and price did come there. That was about, I think, 110 pip move. I took about 85 pips, I think, off it, maybe a little bit more. And that's it, right? And then price, I said wait for 30-minute support to form to take the buys, but that came in much later, and there was no, at least there was no tradable 30-minute bull candle until this candle closed, right? So if you're, and this was this was the second half of the NY session, right? Late into this evening. And then the price did dip back a little bit in and went straight to the next liquidity level, which is 170 pips away, and then to the liquidity candle, which is 260 pips away, and then dropped down and continued high, right? So all what we've seen is that there is no volume in the NY session, right? In NY session, volume has died down. Okay, let's get rid of all of these. Gone past all of that. Let's get rid of that as well. Okay, right. Let's start. Let's start with supply because we're at a supply area right now. Okay, let's let's get rid of this also. We can redraw this. Redraw all of this. Yeah, just get rid of all of that. Okay, so see the weakness out of the correct 3367, 329, 367, 329. Okay, all right. So let's start. There is a supply zone right here. There's a drop, a base, and a drop, right? The reason this is a basing candle is because this has more collective wick than it has body. Let's start with that. Okay, that seems to be where price is heading right now. And here, there is a rally and then a drop here. So we're going to take a look at this area on the 1 hour, but there has to be a zone there because we have a rally and then a clean drop. Okay, let's take a look at this area, both these zones on the 1 hour. One second. Okay. Yeah, so we have a zone here. This was the source, price broke above it, and there is a base there. There's a rally base drop there. Let's take a look at it on the 30-minute. Yeah, that's good. The open of this is 775,668. All right. On the 1 hour, we have this drop base. I'll keep that on the 4 hour. I'm going to make this into two zones. That's going to be one drop, three base in candles and a drop, and then yeah, that's better. So a drop, three base in candles and a drop, then this drop, a base and a drop, right? Because we've crossed a BRN or a psychological round number. 031, 308, 3.08, 031. Okay, 870, 73. Yeah, that's better. And then further up here is another zone. That would be the zone, but we've come into it. So let's do that. Yeah. 829, 244. And again, the reason this I'm drawing this on the 1 hour is because we've prices crossed um, a BRN or 3,450, right? It's a psychological round number. When that happens, you need to take a look at it on the lower time frame. I think that's plenty. That covers about 900 pips to the upside. That's good enough. So that's the supply zones, right? The price has tapped the high, has broken the top of this. We're going to take a closer look at it. Okay. Um, this would be 4 hour supply, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Let's look at demand. We have a drop and a rally here. It's an right there immediately. There is a 4 hour support level there. Going to take a look at that on the 1 hour. But before that, there is demand here, rally, 2 basin candles, and a rally. We're going to take a look at this area also on the 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly. We're going to bring this zone higher to this because we've come. There's a rally-based drop here. On the 1 hour, there's a rally and a drop here. Can bring you to that 30-minute zone. 039. 477 028. Okay, here. There is a zone here. Let's take a look at it on 30-minute. Yeah, that's good. 633 349. Okay, I think that's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. There's nothing here except for this one. All right, so that's a 4-hour demand zone. That's on the 1 hour. That too is on the 1 hour. Okay, perfect. Okay, now next thing is we're going to check if we have a few new zones now. We have these 3 demand zones and we have these supply zones. We're going to take a look at each one of them and see if they're high liquidity zones or not. Okay, let's start with the supply zone since price is reacting from there. Has this taken out anything to the left? Yes, there is demand right here, rally based rally. This gap down or this move down here that took out this low, this drop, 2 basin candles and a rally took this out, so making this a high liquidity zone. But prices come deep into it, so it's no longer high liquidity zone, right? Let's go to this one. If it crosses the 50% mark, which it has, would be the original zone, 183 pips, but price has gone right through it. So it's not a high liquidity zone anymore. This one here, we've taken out this. Yeah, this push down has taken out rally, base, rally, base, rally. This push down here. So that's a high liquidity zone. And so is the one above. This one has taken out, there is demand to the left here. These have taken out all of these zones. It's obvious. Okay, done. Demand here, have you taken out anything to the left? 30 minutes, there is demand. We haven't taken out this yet. So this is not a high liquidity zone. Yeah, this hasn't taken out, but the EMAs are there, but price would come through it. Has this demand zone taken out anything to the left? Yes. Taken out this high here. Rally based drop. It's taken out by that. So making this a high liquidity zone. And this one took out these highs here, or this high here, push ups. This makes it this also a high liquidity zone. Okay, all right, done. Let's clean up the chart. Okay, let's see if there is a high liquidity candle that price is reacting to here. There's this big drop here because we've gone past this zone, in fact, right? The high of this zone is 86.68 and this high is 86.96. So we've gone past it. So let's see if we've created a high liquidity candle that move up. There's this big candle here, the 15-minute, now there is nothing. Just a doji there on the 5-minute. It's just that one candle. Price has already come deep into it. Yeah, we're going to break that. We're going to mark it for now, but we're very likely going to break this. 696.064. 696.064. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to break this. We're going to break this high. Once we break this high, we're coming higher. Right? That's the purpose of drawing this so that we know where price is heading next. Let's look at the zone above. This one right here. Look for a high liquidity candle there. There's nothing on the 31 hour. Let's go to the 30-minute. There's this big candle right here. Let's look at the 15-minute. Let's start with that. The 15-minute. Yeah. There's this. Let's go to the 5-minute. 36. $5.10. Just want to see where this candle gets to. That's what it stepped. It stepped that candle. Yeah, that's what it stepped. That's the liquidity candle it stepped. Now we know why it's reacting the way it is. This candle right here. So we have to mark that entire candle. 435, 510. 510. Okay. This high is 86.96. Okay, that's the candle that we've tapped and we pushed down. We're going to go through this and we're going back to this candle. When we go back to this candle, we're very possibly going to 3,400. Right, that's a push up, 200 pip move up. Yeah, we're heading towards now we know where price is heading, 3,400. Will that happen in the NY session? I don't know. I doubt it because we've not had volume in the NY session. Okay. Next one. This one here. We have that candle right there. Let's start with that. $30-minute. Let's go to the 15-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. Yeah, it's the 15-minute candle. It's tapped on the way down. I always say this, whenever liquidity candles are stacked against each other, like this, close to each other, touching each other, when price goes through one, it's going to go through the other next because price has tapped it on the way down. It's grabbed liquidity already from those candles on the way down. 526, 120, 5, 6. Okay. $14.35. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, let's take a look at I think price is going to react here to 3367 and then push up, depending on where the London high is. Anyway, let's take a look at demand. There's a liquidity grab here. Whenever there is a liquidity grab, you got to mark that out because it's from 3350. It's 196, 7. Yeah, that's the candle. Yeah, that's the one. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Yeah, we'll use the 15. 214028. 214. Okay, further down, there is this candle on the 1 hour. 30-minute. 15-minute. 15 is good. 638,580. 580. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. That's it. Done. Under 30 minutes, done. Those are the zones. I'm not going to take a look at the liquidity candle here. That's a long drop, 700 pips. May not happen today, at least in the first 3 hours of the NY session. May not happen. Okay, now let's take a look at what price has done in the Asian and London sessions. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. It's market open. Yeah, we had a big move in the Asian session. Yeah, that's the market open right there. The market opened at 33.36, 3,336. That's the open price, 3,336. Okay, 349. The London high, we formed 30-minute resistance here, closed. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, 37317. Okay, let's take a closer look at what price has done. So that's the market open. We were very bullish yesterday. End of NY session. Price created 30-minute support here. Just exactly at the London high. We tapped it, created 30-minute support. This was a tradable 30-minute bull candle close, and price continued to push up, right? And then the market closed, and we were coming off of bullish volume. We ended the previous session with bullish volume, so that bullish volume continued higher. We ranged around 3329. We tapped that level. We had created a liquidity candle just before the market closed, and price tapped 3329, and the liquidity candle created the Asian low, push straight up 630 pips in the Asian session and 325 pips in the London session. Wow, 625, 325, crazy. Push straight up past 3,350, past 3367 weekly SR, and we went through the supply zone on the left. We tapped it, we went through it, and then we rejected, created 30-minute resistance right there, and then pushed down back to 3367, came down, ranged, tapped this once more, continued to range, created a liquidity candle to push back up, closed at 3367, closed below, closed back above, tapped it, went straight up, created the London high. We created the London low when we formed this liquidity candle, and we created the London high and formed 30-minute resistance. Price came back up here, formed 30-minute resistance, rejecting the London high. That was once. That is once. Came back up, closed back below, rejecting the London high. We are pushing down. We should be coming down. Should be coming down. We formed resistance in pre-NY. Perfect. We can look for sells. Let's see how we can get sells here. This one is 14.15. This one is 14. Yeah. Should get a pull back up. Can take sells. Safer stop loss will be above the Asian high, or that liquidity candle. So basically the liquidity candle, right? Just above there is the around 3387 is a safe stop loss. Price needs to pull back up to get a trade to come down. Let's see if it can do that. 8501, 7969. 8501. Yeah. So the reason for sells, let me explain again. We've rejected the London high twice and formed 30-minute resistance, which is we tapped it, we closed at it, then we rejected it, 30-minute resistance formed. The next candle closed back above it, no top wick. Again, we rejected it. This time inside of pre-NY, right? So pre-NY is on 1 hour before the NY open. We rejected it, formed 30-minute resistance again, and we're pushing down. Okay. And if you reject the London high, then we're coming at least to 3367, if not to the EMAs and then the London low, which is 3350, right? We should be pushing down. Will we have volume to push down is the question. NY session hasn't had volume. That is why we're going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to chase price. I'm going to wait for that pullback, possibly around this area. We're going to look for like a lower time frame supply zone here. Either I'll look to enter at the optimal entry, which is 3382.3 or 3383.6, somewhere in this area, right? Yeah, above this high basically, above this candle high. Yeah, closer to the London high. That's where I would like to enter. Yeah, somewhere here, 45. 60 pips. Hmm. Yeah, I'm going to wait for a pullback. Yeah, here's where I'm going to place pending orders. If it comes up there, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. And if it continues to push down, I'm going to place pending orders up here. One at the London high. Hmm. Yeah, one here. 3382.35. London high. And then further up. Okay, those are the areas I'm placing orders at. If we come here, I'll see if I might consider taking a trade here. But I think we're coming higher. We should come higher. We created, yeah, we're rejecting the support. Should push up. Stop loss, safe stop loss above this high here, right? But we're going to manage risk, obviously. If we get entry, we'll see how to manage risk. Possibly manage risk right here at the London high. That's the area. Yeah, that's the area we've created resistance. Second. Yeah, around 3382. 3383. 3383 is where I'm going to probably manage risk at the London high. Yeah, 3383. Let's see. We first need to get entry. Price has to come up. Yeah, I'm going to place a pending order here as well. Yeah. So those are my pending orders. There's one here, one at the entry, and then one here at the sniper level. Yeah, this can be taken up. 69. Yeah, there. Those are my pending orders. All right, and I explained why we're looking for sells. We've rejected the London high twice, formed 30-minute resistance. That's a tradable 30-minute back candle close. That's a tradable 30-minute back candle close. Price hasn't pushed back up yet. I'm waiting for a pullback to take entry and to come down and hopefully have a winning day. Stop loss, safe stop loss will be above this high, the Asian high, that is 3387. 3387 is your safe stop loss. But we'll manage risk at here, 3383, right? And when I say manage risk, if price breaks that high, you can close partial positions, maybe close 40%, 50%. And if a 15-minute candle closes above this high, above the London high, then you close everything. then that means we're coming deeper. So there's no need to hold drawdown, right? That's what I mean by managing risk. Right now, no entries have been triggered yet. I'm waiting. Very straightforward. Anticipating a move down. Any questions on anything that I've discussed so far? Drop a message in the chat and I'll do my best to answer. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 50-minute candle has closed a week bearish. We should push up. Yeah, this candle is a bullish candle. We should push up. 34. Yeah, we should come up. Let's see if we can come to the back to the liquidity candle. We should come up above this high. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Just waiting for the entries to get triggered. Okay. Okay, no, that's okay. So basically, see, let's say for example, you've taken your total risk, let's say, is 2%, right? And let's say in terms of lot size, that is, for example, let's say it is 8 microlots, right? So 2% means 8 microlots on a trade. So if there are 4 positions like this, you divide that by 4. So each position, let's say, will be 2 microlots each, right? Now, some of them might get triggered, some of them might not get triggered. It doesn't matter, right? You've divided your risk. Now, your risk is a lot less than 2% because you're not taking your entire 2% at one price level. You're fading them in, right? So the stop loss on this actually is a lot less than the stop loss on this one, right? So your risk is now less than 2%. So you keep that entry, even though this is where you're going to manage risk, you keep that entry exactly the entry that has not got triggered yet, that wouldn't have got triggered yet. You keep that exactly the way it is. You manage risk only on the ones that have already been triggered, that are open on open trades, not on pending trades. You don't manage risk on a pending order. You manage risk on open orders, right? I hope that's clear. If it's not, let me know. I'll explain again. Yeah, we should push up past this 15-minute candle high. We might even push up and close a 30-minute. We might even push up and close a 30-minute bull candle. But still, the trade setup still should be valid because we have rejected the London high twice. Formed 30-minute resistance, tradable 30-minute back candles have closed. We've also created a small liquidity candle there on the 5-minute, which is not the main reason. I think the main reason is because we have tapped this liquidity candle. As you saw on the left, we have tapped that liquidity candle, and this push down, this massive push down, how much is that? 340 pip push down is because of a reaction to that liquidity candle, right? And all of this, what's happened here, is because of that liquid. That was the start, and this is all that happened. All this information here: 30-minute resistance forming twice at the London high, and rejecting the London high twice. It's all because of that liquidity candle. So that is why we're anticipating a move back from here. This is where liquidity is. We've seen a liquidity candle here on the 5-minute, so we're waiting for orders to be triggered at the liquidity candle. That's the best price. That's the best price that you can hope for. In this sell setup, this is the best area to enter, not to chase price down here. This is the area, the pullback. Now, if price pulls back all the way up here, gets us a trade and works, then fine. But it could always just drop down from here as well, and that's fine too. You cannot know how much liquidity price really needs to make the move down, right? But based off analysis, we believe price is coming down. Now, if it doesn't pull back up and if it just continues to drop, then okay, we didn't get in on these sell ideas because these sell ideas were it worked actually in pre-NY. In pre-NY, it was a perfect trade. We have 30-minute resistance form. The next candle pulled back a bit, and that would have been an ideal trade to take, right? Because it did come and tap that area, this candle, this wick here. This is, if this candle had happened here and this one here, it would have been perfect. But this has already come and tapped, and price can continue to push down. Doesn't need to come back up. Then we'll have to wait for price to come down. 30-minute support form from a liquidity level, either from 3367 or the liquidity candle, and wait for a 30-minute tradable bull candle to close to take the trade to go back up. Yeah, on the 4-hour we're ranging. Candle closed bullish, candle closed bearish, candle closed bullish. Let's see what happens with this candle. Yeah, there is very little volume compared to, look at that. This is Asian session volume, single candle, 350 pip candle. Probably driven by news. We're going to take a look at, let's see what happened with news. Was there any news in the morning? Yeah, could be because there is no trade deal yet. So, uncertainty in the market. All right. This is like COVID. Whenever there was, when the news of COVID, I mean, during COVID virus spreading, uncertainty in the market, gold prices go up. Whenever there was news of a vaccine being created, boom, drop. Gold prices dropped heavily. Same thing. Whenever there is uncertainty, so um, they're still waiting for a trade deal. This could be. I'm not saying that it is, but this could be the reason. This happened about 7 hours ago. Um, yeah, could be. This could be the reason for the push up for a very bullish gold today. No, no sign of a trade deal yet with China, which means uncertainty in the market and gold prices pushing up. As soon as there is talks of a trade deal, even the suggestion of some sort of a trade deal with China, then you'll see prices pushing down. Might not pull back. I don't know. Seems like we're just ranging here. Might not pull back. Need a strong 5-minute bull candle to push up to get past this 15-minute high. The market has been slow. NY session has been since last Monday. It's been very quiet. Just sideways movement. Even if prices moved up 100, 125 pips, then it's moved right back down on that same amount or more. So it's just been ranging the first 2 hours, 3 hours of the NY session. NY session, since last week, NY session has been just a test of patience. Just have to, if you have the time during the rest of the day, then you can start looking at the Asian or London sessions. But if I don't have that, I don't have that kind of time. This is the only time that suits my lifestyle to trade. So I have to make do with the NY session. But it's a clear shift in volume. Volume has shifted to the London and Asian sessions. Yeah. Hmm. Pushing up. Let's see. Get here. I'll probably take an entry around here. Probably take an entry around here. It's a 50 pip drop if you come. Yeah. Yeah. Taken some entries here. As price pushed up. Pushing up further. Coming further up. Okay. Tapped it. The London high. See if you can drop. So back here. It's 80. If you drop. You can, if you did enter up here, down here, and because price broke the high, you can close maybe 25% of your position or 30% you can close here. I didn't because I've taken very small risks, so I didn't, but you can close because that's the price. That's why I said we should manage risk. So you can close partial positions at 3383. If the 15-minute candle closes above it, then you need to close everything. Or at least 80% of your position, maybe 70, 80% of your position. Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah, you're gonna have to manage risk on this one. Price is pushing up. No top wick. Hmm. 5 minute, no top wick. Yeah. Okay. I closed 50% of my positions, pushing deeper into that zone. I closed about 50% of my positions here. Let's see. If the 5 minute candle closes bullish, I'll close more. Pushing up, pushing hard. Possibly going to tap this London high again. Just wait for the 5 minute candle to close. Yeah, closed another one. Got about 30% of my positions running right now. Close to about 70%. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, that one hit the stop loss. That last 30% hit my stop loss. 33.87. Mm, get rid of all of these. Mm. Okay, so still same thing. So that trade idea didn't work out. We closed. 50-minute candle is very likely going to close above the Asian and London high, and we're pushing up further. Um, yeah, we have to wait for structure. So there's nothing else to do. Just you gotta wait. Just have to wait. Some massive push up. Yeah, yeah. We got to wait for now 30-minute resistance to form because we've pushed past all of these highs, pushed past the London high, the Asian high. So for sells, you have to wait for 30-minute resistance to form and a tradable 30-minute back candle to close to take the sells to come down. Buys, no buys because price is in supply. We're heading towards 334. We're going to push there to 34. Hmm. Yeah, we're pushing to 34. There's no support formed to take buys. I just have to wait. There's nothing to do right now. Just have to wait for structure. Price to pull back and go back up is the best move. Pull back down, create maybe 15 minutes support, and then push up. Yeah, we are quite far away from the EMAs. We're almost 300 pips away from the EMAs. So pull back. Hmm. We're pushing up to 15-minute candle has created a wick to fill. Come back, tap the Asian high, pushing up to 3,400. We've closed above the Asian high. We're pushing further up. Yeah, 1 hour candle should close bullish, continue higher. 30-minute also should close bullish with the wick to fill, continue higher. See where price is heading to. 3397. Yeah, that's why we should be heading to 3397. That's at least there. 3397, then 34. You're gonna wait for the 30-minute candle to close because this candle, the candle closes above. That means we're pushing further. But they can't take us. I can't take a buy here because this is a liquidity candle. This is what price reacted to first. Tapped it, reacted to it, pushed down. And we've come deeper in. Yeah. We should get here. Should push up. Yeah, we're pushing up a lot further up, in fact. Pushing up past this. Coming probably here. Three, 407. Hmm. Yeah, 30-minute form in support, 3 minutes for the candle to close, wait for the candle to close. Um, yeah, price has to, you can't take buys, you got to wait for price to pull back, create 50-minute support, and then take the buy. Yeah, there's No liquidity level here. It can drop back here. But we are pushing up. We're pushing up to these levels, 3397, 3400, 3407, and then if there is volume, 3416 or 3417. We are pushing up. Da, 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 da. 2 minutes for the 1 hour candle to close. We're forming a rally, 2 basin candles and a rally here. Uh, buys are very dicey. You have to take buys from but down here. 30-minute support is forming now in a minute and a half. This one broke this low, this one broke this low. So this is 876320. Pushing up. Yeah, pushing up. One eye candle close bullish, might pull back to create a bottom wick and then continue higher. Reacting to 3393. Should continue higher. Yeah, we'll come for a bottom wick, I guess. I should get to 3397 pretty easily. Yeah, it's just bullish today. Just it's one of those days where just New York session very bullish. No pullback after 30-minute support created to take a trade though. Hmm. Yeah, still pushing up. Possible sell trade later on, around closer to London, the London close. Possible. Maybe after around 10:30 a.m. EST, 10:30, 11 a.m. EST, or even after, because price is still pushing up, very much bullish. The 4-hour candle will have to close. 4-hour candle, 53 minutes, almost an hour more. Will have to close um, before 30-minute resistance forms. Yeah, prices should push back down to here, the London, the Asian high, and then maybe push back up. It's done it already. Let's see. Still pushing up. Probably come back to this level here, the demand zone. Yeah. Apart from that one sell trade, nothing today. We should get sells today. Coming into this weekly rejection area, 3,400. It's daily supply zone. We should get it, but it might happen later on. Just might happen later on. Yeah, still pushing up. No pullback. It's very similar to last week. Once we break this high, we should head to 400, 3,400. Yeah, I'm going to be here for another maybe 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then call it a day. I'm still anticipating sells, but from higher, because we are heading into this area, a rally base and this big drop here, right? There is also an invisible price gap down, 930 pips. There we go. Heading to 3397. Yeah, I'm anticipating sells from a liquidity level, but wait for 30-minute resistance to form, tradable 30-minute back candle to close. It might happen honestly later. It may not happen now. It's probably going to, you got to wait for at least a 4-hour candle to close and then look for trade. So maybe 1.5 hours from now, 2 hours from now, probably around 10:30, after 10:30 a.m. EST. That's when you're probably going to get your setup, sell setup after 10:30 a.m. EST. 15-minute candle closed bullish with a wick to fill, still pushing up, still pushing up. We're going past 3397 towards 3400. Yeah, no top wick. Come down, create a bottom wick, then push up. Yeah, 3397. Might have the volume to push further up, but 3397 is the area because that's where 15-minute, that's where the zone is. In that 1 hour zone that we drew, that's the area. But we could push up much higher, but that's the minimum, 3397. That's where resistance is, 15-minute, in that 1 hour supply zone that we drew here. That's where 15-minute resistance is, right there. Yeah, but we could push higher. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. Be patient and wait. 30-minute resistance might form. Later on, you got to wait for the 4-hour candle to close. 40 minutes for the 4-hour candle to close. Wait for the candle to close, and then you might have um, a retracement. It's best to wait for not just a 4-hour candle to close, but wait for price to create a new high. We're still creating the new high. We're creating higher highs and higher lows. So the new high is not yet confirmed because price is still pushing up, creating newer highs. So wait for that high to form. How you'll know that the high is confirmed is when price pulls back and pushes back to retest the high, fails, and creates the resistance to push down. Wait for that. That's going to take time. That could take an hour and a half to 2 hours for that to happen, for that to play out. But that's the only way you can take sells to come down. You can't buy. Price is just pushing up. Where do you buy here, and where do you place your stop loss? You can't place it down here. It's 200 pips away. So you got to either wait for a pullback which I doubt is going to happen because price is very bullish. So it doesn't need to pull back to grab liquidity. It's very, very bullish right now. So we just wait for that high to be confirmed. And the way you know that the high will be confirmed is when price creates a high, pulls back, creates some sort of support, retests the high, fails to push back above that high, right? Fails to break that high and push further, creates 30-minute resistance in the process to come down. Got to wait for that. Right now, nothing. This is very similar to last week. We had 30-minute support form last week, no pullback. Look at that. Same thing. 30-minute support form, no pullback to get in on this trade. Push straight up. It's just ranged here. Same here. 30-minute support form, no pullback. Went straight up. Yeah, so we're still pushing up. We should head to 3,400 pretty easily. 3,397 was the minimum. Now we can push. Now that we've tapped the minimum, we can go to 3407, 3416. Because as I said, remember these liquidity candles are stacked one above the other. When they are, then when one breaks, then price goes to the next one. Easily, we can break one of these easily and head to the next one. All right, so I'm going to end the stream here. I took that one sell idea that we had. We took that sell idea here. When price came back here, we managed risk. Price pushed pretty hard. So I didn't manage risk exactly the way I want to, but I still closed about 70% before price hit my stop loss, right? Closed about 70% or maybe a little bit more than 70% before price hit the stop loss. Closed about 50% somewhere here, and then another 20% above here, and then when price, just before price tapped us, then price hit the stop loss, the final 30% closed. So any risk management is always good risk management. Keep that in mind. If you plan to lose a certain dollar value or a certain risk percentage, whatever that dollar value is, $100 or $500 or $1,000 or even $10 at a certain risk area, and you lose less than it, you lose like say $7, $8 or $6, you know, five. If you risk 2% and you lose 1% or 1.5% and you save 0.5%, that's good risk management. You didn't lose your full 2%. So every day if you come planning, that's the risk that you put on the table. 2% is your risk, is what you're comfortable with and you're willing to lose, and you lost less than that 2%. You lost, let's say, 1.5% or 1.6%, even 1.7%, and you saved 0.3%. That's great. You did a good job, right? Because trading, remember, is a probability game. There are no certainties. Yes, 30-minute resistance was formed twice. We rejected the London high twice. We should have technically pushed down, but very bullish. The next 30-minute candle closed way above the London high and above the Asian high, right? With no pullback to get in on this trade to go up. So two things that usually do happen didn't happen. So that just means that the probability of it not happening was today, and it didn't happen. Price didn't respect the London high, though it showed that it was respecting it to push down, to come down to a liquidity level, at least to 3367 or the EMA. It didn't. And then when 30-minute support formed and price closed above this, there was no pullback. Usually we get a pullback. There was no pullback, right? So that's a probability of both those things not happening. They happen today. And on a day like today, if you lost less than your initial, what you plan to lose, the risk that you usually put up on the table, if you lost less than it, great. You had a good day. All right. So I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Again, any questions on what happened today? Any questions before I end the stream? Anything that you want to ask on what we've discussed, on what happened? Let me know now. I'll be here for another 2 or 3 minutes. I'll come back in a couple of minutes and we'll end the stream. Okay, so any questions, type it out in the chat And when I come in a couple of minutes, I'll answer them if there are any questions. All right, on anything that any on the analysis, on the zones, on what happened today, on how price played out, on anything that happened today. Okay, I'll come back in a couple of minutes and then we'll end the stream. Okay, we're still pushing up. We should be heading higher, 3400. If there's more volume, we could head to 3407, 3416. The reason I've kept put these levels is that that's where price is heading. It could head to, right? It could head to definitely to 3400, and then above 34 is we have this resistance right here on the 30 minute. That's 3407, and then above that we have 3416, right? This zone here. Now, um, if you're looking for sells, there are no sells now, right? Candles are closing against us, against the sells, so no sells. You got to wait for 30-minute resistance to form. Got to absolutely wait for 30-minute resistance to form, a tradable 30-minute back candle to close to take sells. Now that might not happen in the next couple of hours. It might happen in the latter half of the NY session, like what we've seen. We've seen volume come in, NY not having too much volume, but volume coming in later on, right? But today we've had volume in the NY session, but no pullback to take this trade. Now, if you're looking to take buys, then wait for the candle to pull back, create 15-minute support, a tradable 15-minute bull candle to close to take the buys to come and retest the high. Wait for the high to be confirmed. The only way you know that a high is confirmed is once you see the pullback and you see 15-minute support form and a tradable 15-minute bull candle close, then you know that the high is formed and price can go back and retest. Price can now push back up to retest the high, right? For sells, you got to wait for 30-minute resistance to form. 30-minute resistance and a 30-minute tradable back candle needs to close. Now also this can be pushed, this liquidity candle can be reduced now because we've come deep into it. Yeah, 154. Three 3399.31. Okay. Yeah, that's the zone. Hmm. Yeah, that's a 1 hour zone. Yeah, we're pushing up to that. Now we took I took the liquidity candle to the 5-minute candle instead of the 15-minute, the 5-minute, because it's coming deeper into it. So we're going to tap. Ideally, price is very likely going to tap 3,400. All right. So again, like I said, for sells, wait for 30-minute resistance to form, a 30-minute tradable back candle to close, take the sells to come down. If you're looking for buys, wait for a pullback, wait for 15-minute support to form, then you know that the high has been confirmed, but you can't take a buy trade until a tradable 15-minute bull candle closes. Now that can close with that can be the 15-minute candle that forms support, or it can come after that, right? Where you have to wait for that candle to take the buys to go back up to retest the high, right? We still haven't confirmed the high yet. We're still trying to push up even further. Okay. All right. See you tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Tomorrow we have, is it the interest rate decision tomorrow? Yeah. Tomorrow is the interest rate decision. Second half of NY session. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we have a setup for the first half of the NY session, right? But the interest rate decision is tomorrow. There should be some volume coming in on Thursday and Friday because the interest rate decision is second half of the NY session tomorrow. All right. See you tomorrow. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. It's a uh, very frustrating kind of price action during the NY sessions. So as I said, if you have time, the best thing to do is to change your session timings to either Asian or London. You're getting clean moves in the Asian London. It's the same sort of analysis. If you watch me draw zones, if you've been here on the streams the last few months and watch me draw zones, then should be able to draw the zones by yourself. And you're getting clean volume in the London sessions, right? Clean volume. Um, yeah, look at that 30-minute support form, bit of a pullback, and price push straight up, right? Yeah, this is 30-minute support. 30-minute support formed, price pulled back a bit, went straight up. And we're above the EMAs. This is a perfect trade. This one didn't pull back after 30-minute support from the Asian session, but this one did. It went straight to the Asian high. Right? That's where it has a good move up. Yeah, even yesterday, I think there was in the London session, there was a trade. Yeah, 30-minute support formed, pull back here, this candle pulled back, and then we went to the Asian high right there. That's the Asian high. 120, 25 pips, easy, 125 pips, and then to the liquidity level, yeah, 270 pips, yeah, easy, and then continued higher. All right. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We'll do our analysis and see if we have a setup for the first couple of hours of the NY session.